Okay, we're back. I'm here with Ethan Harrison, lead singer of the New Hampshire band, Great American Ghost. It's good to see you, Ethan. Thank you for coming
Good,
on here.
good to see you, William. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course, out of all the bands I've worked with last year, you're definitely one of the more outspoken people about what's going on right now. So I definitely felt compelled to ask you to come on this and talk a little bit. First off, if you don't know, Great American Ghosts are one of my favorite new bands. Their new record, Power Through Terror, which came out shortly before the entire touring world shut down,
Yeah, before everyone stopped touring and doing music, it was great. Good timing.
is really awesome. I wouldn't say it's a perfect metallic hardcore record, but it's pretty fucking good. So
Wow, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to me, Will.
look at that.
Really sweet.
Well, thank you. So, okay, the album title "Power Through Terror" is a very appropriate title right now. Have you fully absorbed like the things that you were writing about when we were making this record, and how so much of that really is like applying to what's going on in the world right now with the Black Lives Matter movement, and sort of everything we talked about. Now we're watching it happen, and it's escalating and getting worse. And like when you were writing this stuff to where you are right now, like has your head changed? Like what do you take a minute to talk about sort of some of the ideas we had put into this record?
Yeah, my ideas changed. They did. Obviously, you know that I'm really outspoken and I'm very politically minded. Those things are really important to me, and I feel really passionately about them. You're the first person who encouraged me to write about those things because our other records weren't as politically active as the one that we just made. So in that time frame, I was really actively thinking about oppression, and I was thinking about the class divide, and I was thinking about the ways that marginalized people were mistreated. But even with that, I was never I was never fully seeing the scope of how poorly people are treated, and I didn't understand it at all. And this is coming from somebody who wrote, in my opinion, a wildly political record, and I was a little nervous that people were going to kind of push back on how political we had gotten. And then now it's seeming like I wasn't political enough. And that's something that I've had to come to terms with in the last couple of weeks, just a couple of weeks.
Sure. I mean, I think we've talked about this earlier, but I do think this is like that come to Jesus moment for a lot of people where, it's one thing to care about something, agree, want to support a cause or a movement or a group of people, but we're now getting to the point where I feel like action is necessary and forced. It's like I no longer feel good about being on the sidelines for anything. And I've cared about issues in the past. I mean, this is just me speaking personally, but I feel like we've talked about this before too, where it's like I've definitely cared enough about these things to write about them and talk about them and post things about them. But now it's time for like more. It's just time to do more. And like I'm proud of my friends. I'm proud of you for being in a similar mindset to know that, okay, this is it now. It's put up or shut up shit for all of us,
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's like I've had the last couple of weeks to just think extensively about the fact that, like you said, like being against these things or believing the right things the way that you and I both do, and I know that we do, isn't enough. Like I realize that non-racial condemnation is not enough. Like you need to be an anti-racist activist. That is what we need to be now. And I've realized that over the last couple of weeks that like, though I believed the right things and I always said the right things, maybe not the right things exactly, but I knew my beliefs, my belief structure, and how I put it across was how I needed to put it across. But I've realized in the last couple of weeks that I haven't always been the best ally. I've had to do a lot of introspection. I've had to shut my mouth and listen to people that know better than I do. And it's been a really hard road. I haven't always done the right things. I haven't always said the right things. I haven't always been the best person that I could possibly be. And these last few weeks have really shown me that. And coming from, again, a band who writes politically charged songs, politically charged lyrics, I'm now realizing that I wasn't doing the right things. So I think that everybody needs to take that sort of introspection, which I guess is what this is about. We can do better in the grand scheme. All of us need to do better and realize that, none of us are perfect, that none of us were on the right side of this thing. No matter how good you've been, there's always like a little bit of us that we can do better with. And I sincerely believe that. And I've had to realize that over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. I mean, I it's definitely going to keep coming up, but I am glad that these conversations are happening now. And I feel, I felt a little helpless and a little uncomfortable even approaching how to do my part, and I think a lot of what we're going to talk about today too is just about communication. It's like, it's fine to want to be involved and active and want to know and want to do good. But it's like, it's also about not just making it about you, not just, voicing your opinion and screaming it from the top of the mountain. It's about listening to members of the Black community and taking the lead from other people. And, for people like you and me, we're not used to that. If we disagree with someone, or if we want to stand up and say something, we just do it, and we do it without thought, and we do it because internally it's at our core. That's how we feel. And like, fuck you if you don't like it,
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know about you, my attitude's definitely shifted now, where I'm like, you know what? You're not the guy, like, good on you, but like, also maybe just shut up and listen too. And then, join up on the team and don't be the captain, and there's a lot of my friends who are like, I don't know what to do. Like, normally I would just be this and that. And it's like, it's fine. It's fine to not know, how to tackle these issues, what the right move is, how to approach dealing with racist people, who to direct, how to direct the literature, like where the right charity is. Like, there's so many unanswered questions now, but the information is here. It's all here for us. We've all been sharing stuff. I've been, we've both been reading, we've both been listening to stories from people who are actually on the ground in, these communities who are suffering right now. And I think it's the right perspective, and I think from the place, I don't know about, you, but at least from where I'm from, I don't experience this as a ground zero effect to me, and I would imagine New Hampshire is also pretty separate. So what is like the climate in New Hampshire? Because, not to bag on New Hampshire, but it's an inherently live free or die, we should be pretty on the rights, on equal rights and free speech, right? But it's also, there's some characters up there who I will call less than desirable white people, and we've spoken about interacting with them before. So what is the climate like in the Northeast up in New Hampshire right now?
If the phrase, I get why they're mad, but I wish they would stop looting could be a state, it would be New Hampshire. You know what I'm saying? It's deplorable, honestly, because a lot of these people up in this area, a lot of the white people in this area have never had to deal with any sort of oppression in their entire life. So it's just something that they can hardly wrap their head around. And they haven't traveled extensively like you and I, and they haven't had interaction with the police force, who I think on a wide scale is completely immoral and completely morally bankrupt. And so a lot of these guys, and I say mostly men because I work in the construction. Now that COVID has stolen my dreams from me, I, work in the construction field when I'm home. So there's been a lot of hard conversations that I've had to have with people where it's like, listen, man, you have never been oppressed. You have no idea what it's like. And to say, that you understand why they're mad, but makes your entire statement pointless. Like, why don't you say, I know why they're mad. They shouldn't have killed that man in the street, or murdered Breonna Taylor, or lynched the gentleman in Georgia. These are all things that at large, the white community, when they're only surrounded by other white people, don't really have to think about. So it's just a culture of ignoring something because it's not damaging them. And that is a huge issue. And
Yeah,
to the point of looting, I mean, what these people don't understand and what people need to understand is that, I mean, I know you know this because you and I have talked about this, but when you commodify every aspect of human life down to human interaction, our human interactions are bought and sold on social media. When you commodify every single portion of human life, the only logical protest is to damage the equity that people have accrued. So looting makes sense to me. I mean, I don't think that it's necessarily right in every aspect, and I don't think that it's always the right thing to do, but I get it. Like, I can understand it.
I can understand the reaction too. Yeah, and I'm surprised that other people can't. And for the most part, I mean, when you talk to the communities that are, you know, impacted by it, the people that live there are that's not their property.
They don't own anything. Exactly.
They don't own the target. They're reacting to a system that's oppressed them. And yeah, I don't think we should burn down every building in the world to make a point, but I also don't think it would have ever gotten to the place where people would have thought that maybe that was the only way to get attention. Maybe that was the only way the news is going to show up with a camera and a helicopter.
And they're right.
Fox is going to fly over so that if, you know, the tear gas comes out, it's on video now, you know, and it's like people don't see that perspective. I mean, the first line of the first single on your record is we wrote, "Failure is the illusion of safety." And that one like stuck with me. And when I was thinking about what I was going to ask you, I like stumbled back across that line. And I was like, it's just is the climate that, you know, white suburbs and people have been living in for so long, where it's like the illusion that everyone is free and safe in America, that you've like accepted as the norm in your life, is a failure, you know, and it's not representative of all the people that live in this country. And it's a lie that you tell yourself so that you don't have to deal with the discomforts of the world. And I'm just happy to hear that people are starting to become more aware of it, you know, and I think, you know, this isn't something that we're going to stop talking about. I know me and you are going to keep having these conversations, and I know, you know, in the coming months, we will stay at it, you know, so I really do appreciate, you know, you taking a moment to speak on this, and I hope we can continue to do positive stuff together through super negative music.
Yeah.
I want to just pull the giveaway up really quick. If I haven't talked about how much I like this record enough, here's a vinyl and merch bundle that you can win from Great American Ghost. You get a jersey, you get some masks. I could see you're on the mask tip. I guess being quarantined all year, being a construction worker has led you to, you know.
Well, the masks aren't about those masks aren't about quarantine. Those masks are about protest. Those are protest masks.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
So yeah, no problem.
Okay.
No problem.
Sweatshorts, a bunch of vinyl, got a bag in there. It's a nice package. You put a nice thing together.
Thank you. Those vinyl actually came from my vinyl collection right down there. Because those are my personal vinyl that I had to pull out of my collection because we don't have anymore. So those are mine. Those are the ones that labels send you to be like, hey, congratulations on making a record. And now I won't have them anymore because I've donated them, and I'm completely fine with that. So please donate $10. And honestly, this is difficult to follow. Monty just talked about his Slipknot plaque, and he pulled it out. Yeah, he showed it to the world.
He did pull it out. Yeah,
I went to
put the picture up, and he's like, "Actually, I can one up you in truth." Yeah. And yeah. So, but Ethan, thank you for coming on, man. I always appreciate our talks, and you know, I hope you can get back to work soon. I hope the whole world can return to normal, or a new normal, I'll say soon. So thank you, man. Yeah. Always a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. And I just hope that everybody gets involved, even on a macro level. If you're not going out there and taking tear gas in the face, just donate money, donate here, do what you can, because any little thing helps.
Yes, there's a variety of ways to help this cause right now. We're doing our part here. People in the street are doing their part, and we'll continue to think of more ways. So thank you, Ethan. Always appreciate you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Will.
Later, buddy. All right. So a $10 donation to soundring.live enters you into our charity raffle. I'm going to say this all day until you put $10 in. So just do it. I'm still going to say it, but then you're just still going to have to listen to it if you want to see these artists. So sorry, deal with it. The top 3 donations win the choice of prize that they would like. And that was Ethan from Great American Ghost. You could win this vinyl merch bundle from him. It's a very cool package that he put together out of his personal stash, which I appreciate. I'm going to take a 2-minute break, and I'll be right back with Annihilate, and I'm looking forward to talking to him. So hang in there. Be right back.